Hugh Johnson.
Hang on. I'm getting the Facebook Live rolling here.
Oh, I thought you were just slacking off over there.
No, I'm not slacking off. Shut up, Greg. How dare you?
Kelly, as you can tell, there is never a dull moment with us.
I love it, man. That's why. Hey, I've watched a couple of your episodes already, man. It's highly entertaining. I love it.
Good. See, Kelly, another one for you in the W box. Matt, learn from our guest. Okay.
So Kelly, real quick, what's your projected volume this year?
Right now we're close to probably hitting 60, so like 59 million.
Now, what's your average price? Well, we'll get into that in the show.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, guys. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson here. We are back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. We've got a great guest here with us today. We're talking about how he has gone from being a football player, then turned grad assistant, making zero money and working 90 hours a week, to working less than that and making way more money, and has built a very nice team down in Arizona and is on track to hit 55, 60 million, somewhere in that range this year. And we're going to talk to him about how he's built his team and what their lead generation and sales methods are. So we're going to get to him in a second. But first, my esteemed colleague, the junior grandmaster himself, in the co-pilot seat, despite feeling like, he'll describe what he feels like. But Greg, what's up today?
Matt, what is up, man? I actually got myself up. I even got in a shower just for this event today. I was not going to do anything. I feel like dog shit, warmed up, run over by a Mack truck, stepped in by a boot. But besides that, my day is pretty good. I know that our guest is awesome, and I'm really excited to have him here. Guys, if you see me not as energetic today as possible, well, now you know why. But I had to get a kick out of this since Matt is very enthusiastic when it comes to football. Let's put it that way. And Kelly is an ex-player in football. These two were passionately discussing how their Nebraska football team was doing so poorly, and the venomous words and thoughts that were spewing from their throats and mouths and eyes when they were discussing it. I had to laugh because I get more worried about child trafficking, her world hunger, all kinds of stuff like that. But I mean, Nebraska football, I gotta give it to you. That's a close second to all those other big ones.
Well, when we lost a couple of games this year by a combined score of 100-13, it's a problem.
Yeah, yes. I can see that.
Yeah, just the two big blowout games this year. But anyway, I digress.
You should work on that, Matt.
Okay. We should. Well, we should. Exactly. I will work on that by not buying any Nebraska apparel, and hopefully they will feel the intense pain of my lack of consumer interest. But anyway, let's bring in our special guest, Kelly Cook. Kelly, what's up today?
What is up, guys? Great intro, man. Nebraska football involved in the first 1 minute on the show. Love it.
That's right.
We aim to please, Kelly.
All right. So Kelly, give us first of all, just tell us kind of where you're at, what you do now, and what your team looks like, and we'll get into your background in a second.
Yeah, right now I'm a team lead for the Kelly Cook Real Estate Group here. We are actually with the brokerage Keller Williams, and we're down in Scottsdale, Arizona, where there's plenty of good agents, good teams down here, good competition. And I have a 15-person team. We're in growth mode right now. So we've usually carried around 6 to 7 people like last year, but we're trying to grow and expand and trying to put more players on the field, so to speak, and service them as well with the support necessary. So that's what we're doing right now.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And what's the growth curve? How long did it take you to put that team together?
Yeah, good question. I've had a team now I've been in real estate a little over 11 years, but 11 and a half years. And I've started the team about 5.5 years ago or so, 5 years ago. So it kind of took off fairly quick, but not with plenty of growing pains, I can tell you that.
So why did you plan on starting the team? I mean, did you always want to do a team, or did you kind of just see that this is the way that the future is going with real estate? I mean, what was your reasoning for it? A lot of people have different reasons. That's why I ask.
Yeah, well, I feel real strong about that. First, Greg. First of all, I really believe in 3 to 5 years or so, you're going to start seeing the team being extremely predominant. Saw that coming down the pike. I think that is starting to replace the brokerage to some degree, and it will in the future. So yeah, trying to stay ahead of the curve a little bit like that, and also too have my MBA, and so wanted to try to run or own a business at some point. And if I'm just in it by myself, it's not much of a business. I have to have people surround me who are talented and good. So that was the main reason.
Interesting.
So,
Dive deeper a little bit really quickly for me. When you said that you think teams are going to replace brokerages, help me understand that. That's really
yeah, now
interesting.
okay. So from a liability standpoint, I don't know that it will it'll replace it much from that standpoint. I think the brokerages will always be there. I do think because going back 10 years ago or so, you had a lot more support. It seemed like from brokerages, leads, that sort of thing, and the individual agent. Now people are starting to see they're getting more support from a team. And so the brokerages don't want that risk from a cost standpoint. So they're okay taking the liability risk, but they're okay saying, hey, Mr. Team, go ahead and start one, Kelly, because I'll have all these new agents that I bring on just funnel right to your team, and you support them. You take the risk for the leads. You take the risk for the systems, that sort of thing.
So it's basically, hey, Kelly, go ahead and start a team, and then we'll just suckle off your teat after you do all the hard work, and we'll just sit back and just take all the goodness. Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, everyone except Keller Williams, of course. I'm not gonna. Yeah. Keller Williams does not do that. So just
no, they do not.
Little disclaimer.
And there are some good ones, but yeah, there's a lot of brokerages out there that they're down to charging $300 to $400 a transaction. I mean, you're not going to make a ton of money that way. So they're making more of their money on like the title and the insurance and escrow side. I was talking to Jeff Cohn about this over the last couple of weeks, and so there's some very interesting things on the brokerage side. But anyway, yes, I definitely agree, Kelly. I think that's exactly where things are going, and you're ahead of the curve. So you're basically growing your team. So give us a sense of kind of what the structure of the team is, ISAs, whether the agents can sell both sides and that sort of thing.
Yeah, good point, Matt. Okay, so we have right now 2 full-time administrative support staff. We have a virtual administrative support staff that supports them. We have 1 ISA in-house. We have a virtual ISA as well, who just only does outbound. Our ISA, the structure I have with her is she does half outbound, half nurturing. Okay, so her afternoons are nurturing, her mornings are outbound. And then from we have a luxury division of our team. We're trying to go that route a little bit, and we don't have luxury like Greg does out there in California, but we have some decent luxury down here. So we're trying to really build upon that. So I have a lady who's very good who runs that luxury division, trying to grow that. And then I have a lead listing specialist. And then we have what we call sales agents. We call them sales agents because they're not pigeonholed to only representing buyers. They're allowed to do sellers as well, but we do have some minimum requirements for that so that they can obviously compete against other agents when they go out to do a listing, even though that's not their specialty.
Interesting. You
cool.
operate the same way that I do. I mean, I think that buyer's agents and selling agents, I think those are going to be a thing of the past. That was a good concept, but I think that a lot of people got tired of not being able to sell Gam Gam's house when Gam Gam came to them to help them, sell the property. Like, oh no, you only can work with buyers. They give it to us, and we'll give you a little split. And people are like, fuck you, dude. It's my grandma's house. I'm going to sell it if I want to. And so I think that you're on the right path with that. And I like how you're diversifying. I think that's very, very interesting. You're not just, like you're saying, you're not pigeonholing yourself into one thing. You're actually going out and you're going luxury, your bread and butter. And I'm sure you have some investors and some other stuff that you're working on. So it sounds like you're hitting on all sides of the real estate spectrum. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're trying to create opportunity for everybody, Greg. And that's the main thing, is trying to create opportunity. And some people don't like doing certain things as opposed to other people like doing those things. So that's the idea, is that, Gary Keller talks about a lot that, have your vision big enough, so that if you have talented people within your organization, you can keep them and get their vision realized within yours.
Good. That's so funny. I actually have a very large vision, and Matt always tries to beat me down and tries to keep my vision from growing into fruition.
Don't do it, Matt. Don't do it.
Yeah. Well, what he refrains from telling you, Kelly, is that Greg is what we call an excellent delegator. And what I mean by that is that he comes up with a lot of things that he'd like to do, but he doesn't want to actually do any of them himself. Yeah. So I have to rein in the big goals, and I have to translate them into real, actual things that we can do. So anyway, that's why he says I rain on his parade. But anyway, there was a question that caught my eye that I want to
stop raining my parade, Johnson.
I know.
My dreams deserve life too. Okay, not just yours.
Okay? they can live up here, and then we decide how to attack them. Anyway, so there's a good question. So Hans Christopher George Strunzia. I know I butchered some of that, but that is the person's name. So it says, would anyone care to share their ways of protecting their time blocking? I'm building my schedule and would like some advice on how to protect it once it's built. So Kelly, let's start with you. You've got a pretty sizable little team there. I'm sure you have a lot of demands on your time, a lot of relatively newer agents and stuff like that. So how do you go about protecting the times of, that you've set aside on your calendar once they're in there, so you're not giving up that time.
Yeah. By the way, that's probably the number one thing, a number one reason why agents fail right there. Time blocking. That is the foundation. So we get together as a team, and we have one-on-one coaching and that kind of thing as well. But we make every agent, and I should say encourage, but we make them. But every agent puts into their calendar their time blocking for, say, lead generation, and we separate out. We call that like prospecting. We separate lead follow-up to be separate from that, and then SOY, even a third category, to be separate from that too as well. I know Tom Ferry preaches that a lot, so it's a big thing for us. So they're in their calendar. We make them repeat it on their calendar every single day, 5 days a week, and it goes off like a alarm bell in high school. Time to switch it up and go to something else. And now we're not perfect at it, man. I'd be lying to you if we were, but that's a big thing. So, but what I like the most about what we do is that we kick off the day every single day, 5 days a week, with a morning conference call. Okay, so the whole team, whether you're in the office or not, most of them are, but if you're outside the office, have something going on, you can dial into a conference line, and we report daily accountability numbers for what they did the day previous. And then we also, on Monday, it's a little longer, so we spend 10 minutes doing that for all 15 people. It goes really quick. On Mondays, we do a pipeline report. So Monday, we actually talk about who's our 30 days out, who's our 30 to 90 days out, and then who is in escrow. Those three numbers I report on Mondays. And that's how we can forecast as a team where our revenue is coming for the next 90 days and so on and so forth. And that whole thing on Monday will last a little bit longer, not much. We go pretty quick with it. Everyone comes ready and prepared. And then what we do after that is, for the next 10 minutes, this call lasts 20 minutes. The next 10 minutes, we actually do a role script play where we pick two agents out to be the lead and the agent doing the call, and they do a role play, and we record that. So by doing so, not only do we get a good practice, but we actually record it. It becomes a library that's in our intranet, so to speak, on our drive folder. Agents, and we bring new agents onto the onboarding process. They can go in there and access former audio files of role playing and script practice.
That's fantastic.
Nice.
Pretty cool,
that's awesome.
Thing.
Hey, so have you ever
heard of Greg, real quick? We also switch every single day. We have another agent lead the call, so every agent gets a chance to have like a little leadership role, so to speak, and get that going.
That's awesome. Cool. As you're really kind of like, you're weeding out, you're figuring out which ones are going to be the leaders out of your organization pretty quickly. Right. Have you ever heard of a guy named Jesse Garcia? He has a product called Pipeline Wizard. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I haven't heard that one.
All right, we'll get you connected up with Jesse. He has it's a way that your team can compete with each other on, like, hey, I want to take you on, Kelly, for the next 7 days. I think I can kick your ass in lead gen. And you're like, well, fuck you, Greg. I'm like, okay, let's go, Playboy.
I love that.
And then you have a gauge that will gauge, so you can see like what you're doing, because you're going to input your numbers. So if I see that you're ahead of me, well, I can double down on a Saturday and put 5 hours in or something or whatever to then beat you. So we'll get you guys hooked up. I think your team would love that. Very, very
I love
cool.
that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And you can play with anybody around the country too. So if you find other agents that you guys like, you bring them in and you can play with them around the country. That sounded so odd.
It's like gamifying prospecting is a clean way of putting it, Greg. Not anyway, Greg, let's talk about time blocking before we move on into two straight territory. Anyway, Greg, how do you go about protecting your time blocks? Because for all as scattered as you are, and as ADHD and dyslexic as you are remarkably good at following your calendar. You've never been late for a podcast. You've never missed a podcast, which I find it's scary. It's scary how consistent you are. So how do you do that?
With a Smith & Wesson, bitch. No. So the way I double down on my time blocking. My time blocking is my Bible throughout the day and throughout the week, throughout the month, because I couldn't do half the shit I do without it being blocked in. Because then you've got to protect that time every single day, except for days when I feel like dog shit warmed up. Like said day, I would get on and I'd do a Facebook Live and I would do the hell's that noise?
Sorry, I'm having trouble.
Shut up, Alexa.
Please try a little.
I got.
Is that one of your cats?
No. It's what's supposed to make my life easier. Alexa, Echo. Bitch won't shut up, man. I'm gonna pimp slap you.
Sorry.
I said to stay in the corner. Okay, so what I would say is that I would always block my time out without a doubt. And it's because then I can see what my day is going to look like. If I can see what my day is going to look like, then I can make a good plan. Because if I need to go out and show Matt, Julie, and their 3 obese little wood denting babies again because they're so indecisive, I know when I can fit Matt's insistent ass in so that I don't have to step on my prospecting. Matt's like, All
right, so let me ask you this, Greg, because the real crux of it is the flexible stuff. It's the commitment to ourselves that we usually let go. So we'll time block, but it won't be an appointment with somebody else. It'll be an appointment with ourselves to get something done, and that's usually the first thing to go. So how do you deal with that?
No, if I break a promise to myself, then I can't be held to hold a promise to anybody else. So I hold myself at a higher regard than anything else because I have got to keep a promise to myself first and foremost. Once I start breaking those, then it's all downhill from there. A lot of people, like you said, they do break them first because they don't view them as important. Well, they are the most important thing that you hold to yourself. Look, showing Kelly and his family a house is great, but if I get a flat tire or something happens, I can call and I can apologize and we can reschedule because there's a legitimate thing there. But if I just didn't feel like prospecting, well, that's a fucking problem. Because if I don't prospect, I don't get to work with Kelly. If I don't work with Kelly, then I don't get the referral. If I don't get the referral, then I don't get the future business. So it all keeps, it starts with you and staying true to you and your schedule and what you promised to yourself. Because Kelly, what's your wife's name?
Kristen.
If you have to tell Kristen and your 3 beautiful babies that they don't get to have Christmas because daddy wouldn't get his bitch ass up and go do his phone calls because he'd rather go play golf with his buddies, well, then you're going to have to answer to Kristen and your 3 little kiddos, right? There's going to be a big freaking problem there. That's how I told myself. Yeah, big problem. Mama ain't happy, nobody happy, okay? No. You have to tell your little munchkins, oh, daddy didn't do his work, so we're not going to get dinner tonight. Yeah,
right.
Not a good thing.
Wow. I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, then
oh my God! All right. So first of all, before we get too deep into it, we'll get into your Kelly, your background and some fun stuff here in a second. But how do people connect with you, and kind of where do you serve at so they can send you the right referrals?
Yeah, we serve the greater Phoenix metro area. So we're located in Scottsdale, which is a suburb. But Scottsdale, Phoenix is very spread out. So we with a big enough team, we do service pretty much the entire valley, the greater Phoenix area. So they can reach us at our website at kellycookhomes.com. Email is kelly@kellycookhomes.com.
Cool. All right.
That was easy.
All right. And then for us, as far as I'm sure you've got some people to shout out, Greg, but before we get to that, if you guys go to our website, McDanielRealEstateSystems.com, there's 2 things there. Number 1 is Greg's favorite scripts. That is absolutely free. That is a PDF you can download. It's got links to Greg actually going through all the scripts on video with me. And then our high-tech, high-touch real estate farming course is there. That is an 8.5-hour video course where I sat Greg down and squeezed everything out of his head like a ripe summer orange.
Oh, we got a new fruit. It's a good one. I was waiting for that. I was wondering what you were gonna do. Did you just make that one up, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Okay. So I got like I peeled it back, sliced it, and then smashed it all into an 8.5-hour video course. So guys, check that out. That's on our website. Greg, who do you have to shout out?
Oh, Matt. Okay, I got my boy Jameson who hit me up. Or he said that we talked a little while ago, but he has another 10 months until he gets his McDaniel challenge, so he's a little bummed. But we have he had a big breakthrough, so I can't wait to see what that is. So we have Arne, Philip, Felipe, Kendall, James. Let's see here, John Richmond. God, haven't seen you forever, homeboy. Would love to catch up with you. Let's see here. Who else do we have? Chris, Rachel, Chase, Stevie, Raven, Tina, Mike, Beverly, Melina, Craig, Stephanie, Joey, Matt, Marina, Josh, Hannah, and Doug. Thank you guys for reaching out. I love talking with you guys. I love getting you guys going. The McDaniel Challenge is on pause as you guys know, for the time being, because we are kicked out until April of 2018. Yeah, it's that far out. Yeah, it's out there, guys. So we are going to have a Jump the Line Thursday. We'll explain more about that later on the show.
We'll do it on Wednesday, right? Mm-hmm. So Jump the Line is an opportunity to get your McDaniel Challenge rescheduled for earlier on some of these random nights where Greg has free. But we'll talk about that on Wednesday's show. So anyway, Kelly, let's dive into your background a little bit. So take us through the end of your football career and the transition into real estate. How did that all go down?
Yeah. Okay. So I kind of stumbled into real estate. My goal was to be a college football coach. That was the goal, and I was well on my way. I was fortunate at Nebraska, got the opportunity to be a graduate assistant coach. Those are the guys who are the grunts. You work just as much, if not more, actually, than the position coaches. But you do all the extra grunt work, right? So I got that position at Nebraska in 2003 under Frank Solich, who then subsequently went 10-3, or actually 9-3 technically, and they fired him. So I had to go somewhere if I wanted to keep doing that, right? So that year, I remember this distinctly. There were only 7 graduate assistant spots in the entire country open that year, the on-the-field GA spots. And so, with a little bit of luck and some hard work, whatever, making a whole bunch of calls, I got in at Ole Miss down the SEC conference the following year on the defensive side of the football. And David Cutcliffe, who's now at Duke, was the head coach. And we just lost Eli Manning. We go 4-7, beat our rival Mississippi State, by 20 points or so, pretty handily, and then they fired him. So
I think so. Is the root cause you, Kelly?
Yeah, you know what?
That seems to be the guy.
The kiss of death, man, for football coaches.
Kelly Cook's here. Oh, you're fired, motherfucker. Okay.
Seriously, that's what I was starting to doubt that, man. I'm gonna get a reputation in this business already, of being the bad luck charm here.
That's right.
So he gets fired, and so when the head coach is fired, we're all fired, and so I'm on the streets again. So I had a decision to make, and that was, do I want to keep pursuing this, or do I want to take some time off, see if I really want to do it, because it's a whole lifestyle. I mean, as you mentioned, man, I was working about 90 hours a week plus, making about $800 a month doing that job.
Are you serious? That's a real numbers?
Serious. That's how it goes. Real numbers. Real numbers.
How do you know? Hold up. The fuck is going on here? How can they charge you? I mean, that's like slave labor. I mean, what are you getting? $2 an hour?
4 letters, NCAA, right? No. NCAA. But they get away with it because they're giving you free credit towards your master's degree.
Oh, isn't that generous?
Yeah, right. But the coaches want you in their coaching, though. They don't want you in the classroom, right? They get mad when you go to your class. They want you
Don't you get smarter than me? Don't you get smarter?
Right. So that's what I'm up against, right? So anyways, that's what I was doing. So I had no money to my name, and I decided to take a year off because that job is very tough, and there's some crazy stories I have for you guys. If you want to hear some funny stories, man. What happens? I thought about writing a book. I digress a little bit, but I thought about writing a book about what goes on in the press box, the coach's box during the game with the coaching staff up there. Because it's madness.
Seriously? That does not exist already?
I didn't find. No, this is back in 05, 06. I was looking into doing it when I was out, but I didn't find one then, so I don't know.
Dude, that would be awesome.
You know what? Yeah. We had a guest on that came out from the Midwest, but now he's in Beverly Hills, and his whole gig is he wrote a book, and he mails the book as his business card out to prospective clients. Dude, what about taking your book? I mean, we're talking about what went on in the coach's box, and then relating to real estate in some way, shape, or form. You correlate the two of them. That might be a good idea for you there.
That's not bad.
I'm writing that down, Greg.
It's not bad, dude. You should do like a what would it be? It'd be like a cross between Bill Walsh's The Score Takes Care of Itself in real estate.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That'd be a good book. Anyway, all right. So what? Just give us a sample. What's the madness that goes up in the press box?
Let's just say if you were a blind man, like you would know exactly what was going on in the game, right? You know exactly. Our defensive coordinator at Ole Miss, the head coach had to make him go in the press box. Like he couldn't be an on the field coordinator because he was so like he'd freak out and bite, just swearing at everybody. I mean, so he MFing some kid up in the press box that he came here, right? And ready to be called. And he'd be like, right, banging the glass, and someone on the headset's like, Coach, you got to call the next play. Oh, okay. And he's getting his call sheet, he's like, So, I mean, it's
oh my God.
Oh, you are still writing a book about real estate and coaching. That is such a way how a typical agent would respond to something. Oh my God, I got a listing appointment. What the fuck do I do? I don't know. I got to yell at somebody. Oh, hey, help.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, speaking of that, you got to teach real estate agents how to do like the quarterback, the wrist thing, so they can go into a listing presentation and go, hang on, and just pull up the flap up the Velcro flap on that thing and go, oh no, I charge 7% commission and that's all. I will not reduce it because I'm worth it.
And there's go.
I love it. Wait, that objection? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Oh, that's funny shit. Oh.
All right. So you take a year off thinking about writing a book. How'd you come across the opportunity in real estate?
So this is really what happened. So I came to Arizona. I played in the Fiesta Bowl in 1999. I loved it. Came out here in end of December, and it's 75 degrees. People playing tennis outside and whatever. And I left Nebraska and playing on charter, and and it was snowing and 22 degrees, or something like that. So I'm like, why didn't anyone tell me about this?
They've been keeping it for themselves.
I didn't know, And so, anyways, so I came back out because I had a sister living here at the time, and I had a choice. This is how it was, guys. I was so broke that, as you can imagine, so I had a choice to stay on someone's couch. So my parents being divorced, each had a 1-bedroom apartment in Omaha, Nebraska. I could go sleep on a couch, and that's where I'd be until I figured something out. Or come to sunny Phoenix, Arizona, where my sister had a 4-bedroom house, no kids at the time, married, and she said, "Hey, you can stay there for free."
Checkbox,
Okay.
second choice.
Yeah. That's what I said. So we got fired at Ole Miss the first week of December. I was out picking out a Christmas tree in a tank top in that year in 2004 in Phoenix, and it was fun, man. So I did that. Then I'm sitting in her house one day, and she was renting that house at the time. And her landlord comes in the property, and he's to fix something or whatever. And I'm sitting there, at 2:00 on a Wednesday or something because I'm unemployed, on January or whatever. And he goes, we're talking, and he's like, yeah, I just, why don't you get a real estate? I'm like, well, I don't know. Why would I do that? And he's like, well, because I just had 5 closings this month and made $25,000. And I go, wait, what, in 1 month? And he's like, yeah.
In 1 month?
Yeah. So tell me more about this real estate thing, So that's how it started. So I got into real estate, got my license, and went to a small little brokerage in Scottsdale that didn't have much training or anything. Really no training. They just had contract to close assistants, so that was like, oh, that'd be cool. I'll go there. No name little place, and I started. I had nothing to do, no money, so I started. I borrowed some money from my sister, and I said, okay, this is 2005, right? The newspaper is still relevant. People are putting all kinds of big ads in the weekend papers to advertise their listings and this and that. So I said, I'm gonna go in the rental section, because in Scottsdale, an average rental might run you $2,000 a month unfurnished, for a year lease, something like that, $2,500. So that's not bad. You get paid a little small percentage of commission on that for the year lease. So I said, I'm gonna run an ad. So literally the ad ran 3 lines. The minimum amount, so I could at least get in there, was for a free list of rentals in Scottsdale, North Scottsdale. Call Kelly. Here's the number. And that's how I got it. So I got people calling me because no one else is putting ads in the rental section, because that didn't pay very much. And I figured if I can just get them in a rental house for 12 months and keep in touch with them, then I can earn a relationship and then hopefully earn their business when they buy in 12 months.
That is awesome. How long did it take? So did it take a 12-month cycle for them to really start coming into strong buyers? So you just substituted your income for 1 year, but you were making good money, well, at least better money than no money, and then you really started making the relationships, right?
Bingo. That's it. So I had some people who did 6-month leases, and so that was good, that sort of thing too. So
yeah, you're encouraging people. Don't do the 12. Don't do the 12. You should do a 6. Let's look at a 3. Let's look at a 3 month.
Seriously, I was doing that.
Month by month. Oh, I got
a great lender.
Let's get you guys set up now, just in case you find the right house.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a good friend of mine, Stevie Hahn, out in Florida. She does a ton of rentals. She always has at least 5 her company gives her to her. And I'm like, you've got to start nurturing these people into becoming buyers. She's like, oh, I am. Trust me. And I'm like, well, there you go. Her buyers are starting to pop now. And that's a great way to hack into the business. I mean, everyone just wants to be a multi-bajillionaire driving the brand new Benz with the $5,000 suit on, which that has a lot of overhead for all that, by the way, all y'all there dreamers. But I mean, if you're able to just start time hacking, start leveraging the position that you're in, because Kelly, you leverage the position that you're in. You're like, fuck, dude, I have nothing else to lose. I'm sitting on my sister's couch, which, by the way, a lot of people who are mega successful think that's exactly where they started off, was on their sister's couch. And you just timed and just worked with what you had around you. I mean, that's epic. What took you to the next jump? Did you get listings out of that by any chance, or did you just buyers, or what?
A little bit. I was so here's what it was, guys. Is market timing. The market crashed, right? Market started to tip a little bit. So I was hanging in there. The market started to tip, and I was working 90 hours a week, so working a lot was not a problem. I was single at the time, so all of a sudden this thing came along called short sales. Huh. And and so I was the guy really quick who I didn't have a clue what I was doing. No one trained me. My first net sheet was literally done on a one of those Mead notebook sheets of paper with the spiral things cut out, with the lines on it. I just wrote 300,000 minus, 3%, this net sheet, right, to the bank. The bank didn't know what they're doing. And so
They still don't.
I became the guy they still don't. Exactly. Great point, Greg. I became the guy that everyone brought their short sales to, right? So they're like, I don't want to do this. They weren't asking for referral fees. They're to say, I don't want to deal with this. This is brain damage. I said, I'll take it. So I literally started cutting my teeth on short sales. And that's what then propelled me, because that lasted from really the end of 06, beginning of 07 in Arizona. We were in there pretty quick through basically 2012.
Yeah,
So,
that was a long run, but I loved how you just saw an opportunity. You didn't have to be the best. You didn't have to make a list. You didn't have to be like a master of your craft. You're just like, no, screw it. I'll jump in and do it. A lot of agents get so caught up in the minutia of the business, going, well, this has to be perfect. I have to be an expert. I have to have every single excuse to every single objection. No, you fucking don't. If you just get in there and you just jump in, and you start making it happen, guys. So what if you don't know the answer to everything? Kelly you didn't know the answer to everything, but you're like, hey, I'll find the answer. And you went in and you found it, right?
Right.
There's a very famous story of a math student that he was in a high level math program in a college somewhere, and he was late to class, and he came in and he saw the homework written on the board. So he's like, God damn it. Wrote down the 3 different problems that he had written that were on the board, and he went home, and it took him about a week and a half. It's like, dude, these are really freaking hard problems. What did I miss? Well, he came in to learn, and this will tie around, Matt, because you have that funny look on your face. I'm like, Greg, where are you going with this? Is that these were not homework problems. These were examples of the 3 hardest mathematical problems that have never been solved by some of the best minds. Now, he went into it just like you did, Kelly. You didn't know what you didn't know, and you didn't care. You didn't know there was a big problem. You didn't know it was going to be hard. You didn't know it was going to be different. You just figured, wow, I'll just do it. I think that's incredibly awesome. I commend you beyond words, my friend. I wish there were more agents like you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Now, in the example, Greg, did he end up solving one of the problems? Was there a payoff at the end of that story?
Yeah, he solved them all. He did.
He solved them all?
He solved them all because he didn't know the difference. That's my point.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway.
Oh, Lord. Trying to make me look good.
Was he the janitor there, or what was it? Anyway, all right. Well,
was Matt Damon? Was Matt Damon?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Matt Damon solved the problem. Not the guy in the movie. The actor Matt Damon solved the problem. Anyway, okay.
Get back on track, Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so you jump on the REO thing, which there's a great example, Greg. You talk about just jumping in, but there's a lot of guys, like when you talk to people that are like considered experts in their field, and now they speak and they train and they write books and stuff like that. It's funny how many of them come down to, I was just like screwing around with this one thing, and somebody said, oh yeah, you're like the guru in this, and then they're like, wait a minute, I am. And people start to look at them as a guru, and then they're like, oh crap, now I got to get my act together and go do some more research and become what other people say I am already. It's hilarious / shocking how many people have that exact same story, and then they're like, oh crap, now let's get my act together, and then they become what other people started saying they already were, which is kind of funny. But anyway.
Right. I stayed at Holiday Inn Express. That's what I did.
That's right.
That's why you're smarter.
That's right. You come out, you solve the 3 hardest math problems, you start a real estate team, all is good. Anyway, all right. So you ride the REO thing. So how deeply did you dive into? Did you keep like one foot in the residential resale side, or did you like really jump in REO with both feet?
No, I jumped in REO and short sale both feet because I didn't really have anything. I didn't know any better. I didn't have like that traditional stuff, that sphere yet, because I moved to Arizona, didn't know anybody but my sister. So it was just 2 feet in. Let's go at this, and rode that way for quite some time. The REO thing, I didn't have a ton of those. I had like 5 outsourcer, servicer accounts. I never got the big ones like B of A, Fannie and Freddie. Unfortunately, tried gallantly. I flew to Dallas multiple times, all that stuff, right? Just trying to hustle, didn't work, unfortunately. But the short sale thing, I just kept banging away at that, and started spending some money on it now. And I was actually going after them way ahead of the curve before other agents were, because they didn't want to deal with it. And then as it continued to linger on our market for 3-4 years, then all of a sudden agents started looking around going, hold on now, I had a bunch of big sphere, big database. They can't do anything because they're underwater or whatever the case may be. They can't buy. So then they said, I got to do something. So now it started getting competitive again for pay-per-click leads, online valuations, all that stuff for a short sale. So then I kept ramping that up, the marketing aspect, and ran short sales all the way until, beginning of 2012. And then I kept doing them, but I started to phase them out and tried to market shift and time that because I saw it coming. I saw
Yeah.
it coming. But we had a good 6-year run
Interesting.
down here in Phoenix.
Yeah,
with
that's
short
crazy.
sales. We're gonna be
So
going
what did you do to start that transition?
farming? That's the number one thing I
Really?
did.
All right,
Yep.
let's dive into
Right.
that. So what was your
Okay.
farming program?
So I right away said, okay, what's the number one thing I can control that will take some time, assuming I'm ahead of the curve a little bit, to gain market share on the traditional sense. People are starting to get their equity back in their house,
Mhm.
and that's what I did. So I did farming. I started mailing. Right now, I did 2 mailers in the first month for the first 2 months. Then I started going once a month after that consistently in a neighborhood every Friday morning. Door knocked it as well. And just tried to dive in with the farming aspect too. I did that, and I had a program called Life After Short Sell, where I stay in touch with our clients that we short sold for, knowing that anywhere from 2 to 4 years they could buy again, and that hopefully we could help them buy a house now that they can get a loan again, conventionally or FHA.
Interesting. So what did that follow-up program look like?
So it's basically a lot of emails. It was phone calls. Honestly is basically mimic after the 33 touch plan for the most part with KW. You know, it's literally just keeping in touch. I mean, a lot of times I'll call people, I had nothing important to tell them except, hey, I appreciate you. Thanks for being a valued client. You know, I'm glad I got you out of that mess.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm your savior. And then now moving on to the weather.
Right, exactly.
But that's an amazing thing. I mean, so many people get so petrified of following up and doing the follow up. I mean, why? They already like you. Well, you think they did. They said they did. But we're going to go with that they did. And then just say, hi, how are you doing? What's going on? Be that thing called a human and actually have a genuine interest in caring about them. Have you ever heard of the orphan program?
Yes.
Sounds
How
very,
you do
very.
it, I don't know, but yes.
There's a lot of,
Right.
well, people have different ways of looking at this, but the orphan program is what you were doing, Kelly. You were just, because most people, like I'm gonna say 9 out of 10 people don't follow up with their leads after they close, and so you stayed up with them on a purposeful, deal or plan. Because when I do my cold calls, I ask them if you had to, if life changed on you right now, just bam, you had to get advice or you had to buy or sell. Is there an agent or team that you is your go-to? Almost 10 out of 10 times there's always that one guy, right? It's like, oh yeah, Bob Jones. I call Kelly Cook on RP, man. This guy is great. I mean, he brings me turkeys every Thanksgiving. You're like, okay, that's kudos to you, man. But most of the people won't. And you can follow up with them, right? So you guys, if you think about this, we'll explain the orphan program later. But Kelly, you're nailing it on the head. No wonder you're growing your team, man. You're doing what the people say to do, and you just say, fucking, I'm in. I'll jump in, I'll do this, I'll jump in, do that. Okay, I'll follow up with you. Oh, well, I'll actually go do something and pop by. Imagine that. So I think you're on a tipping point. I think you're going to grow to 30 plus people on your team pretty easily.
That's the goal. Greg.
Yeah, very cool.
It's simple, just not easy, right?
So true. So true. Life is not that difficult. Just people don't want to do the hard work to get there because they don't look. No one looks at the long path it took to get to success. They just see the success. I always use the example. Bill Gates, arguably the most wealthiest guy in the entire world, right? But what you don't know is that he took an entire decade, 10 years. He never took a single day off. Would you trade that? 10 years. Never took one day off. So people only see the results. So I'm going to stay in touch with you.
It's a bad time to ask, right? We just came off of Thanksgiving and like 4 days off, and everybody's like, oh crap, we have to work now? Like, what?
Shit.
You're like, and then you got this thing about Bill Gates not taking a day off for 10 years. Screw you, McDaniel. Come on. It's like the worst time to whip that out. I know, exactly. I feel like a lazy sack of crap right now.
I'm the one that's sitting at home in stretchy pants because I feel like dog shit.
Yeah, that's true. At least you have more of a valid excuse. But anyway,
lazy bum, Matt.
All right, Kelly. So before we finish out, we'll talk about kind of what the next steps are for you and some of the stuff about your team. Let's go super nuts and bolts. And I want to finish out with rounding out kind of what the lead generation for your team looks like. So you've got farming. The REO obviously is kind of wound down. So what are some of the elements that you work on with your agents to help them generate leads, and where do you guys put your focus?
Good question. So we're 35 right now. 35% of our closings come from our database. So that's our number one thing. That's what we really try to work. So that's why I actually got hooked up with Viral. A little plug for them. That's been helping out. But it's a multifaceted, layered effect. So we do that 33 touch plan. We have systems all built out through our CRM, which we use Boomtown, to keep in touch with our clients, that sort of thing. That's our number one thing. Then we do farming. We've been doing that now since 2012. And that is doing a pretty decent job. It's not as we don't have as many deals, but our price point in our farm is very solid. So That's been a good thing. Our average price point now, Greg, you mentioned that earlier. Our average price point is $409 this year to date so far. So pretty good for the Valley. Our average price point, I believe, in the Phoenix area is about 253, 255. So that's pretty good. And then we do pay-per-click through Google. We do Facebook AdWords as well, demographic target ads, and then we do one of the things we do for our database as well is that we send them a listing flyer once a month. So we mail to not the whole thing, but about 2,000 people once a month of a listing flyer, let them know that we have 3 new listings on the market. So we pick 3 every single month. We mail it to them. We say, do you happen to have a buyer, or do you know of anyone who might like this house? That sort of thing. And the whole purpose of that is because they can't throw away, because it may be somebody that we had a rocky relationship with, maybe during the escrow. It could be someone that maybe we're trying to get the business. They're in our sphere, but we haven't closed a deal. They can't delete the mail when it comes and they get it, right? I love that aspect of it. They have to at least see it for 3 seconds, throw it away. And that comes every month. They see new listings on there every single month that we're marketing. They know we're doing business.
Yeah. You're showing success. And do you ever throw in any kind of solds, like on the other side of that postcard? Do you do like 2 or 3 solds? Or just to say that you're doing both now, you're just not collecting listings?
We're actually starting to do that now, Greg. We're actually going to do a version 2 of it now. So it's not the same version every single time, same template, because we're trying to make it a system. So we're going to actually add that to it now. Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah. There's a great script I heard a long time ago when someone says, like, this is not even on point at all, but it has to do with listings. If someone says, like, when you're breaking into the business, right? And someone says, well, how many listings do you have? And you're say an agent doesn't have any or has like 1 or 2 or something like that. Say, you know what? Glad you asked that, Kelly. The reason why I don't actually only have about 2 listings right now, because I'm in the business of selling homes, not just collecting listings. Now, we should probably let's get that listing agreement signed.
That's a great line.
Because that's a total like pimp slap to the homeowner. Like, oh, okay, fine. Jeez, not to be rude about it.
Another one of those one-liners too, Greg, is, I know you've heard this one too as well, is, so Kelly, how long have you been in the business for? Well, I think you asked me the wrong question. The question you should be asking me is, how many homes do I sell each year?
Oh. How many homes do you sell each year, Kelly?
About 140 to 150.
Okay, you're hired.
That's a good answer.
That's good. If they actually ask, okay, well, how many do you sell? You're like, 3.
Right. Yeah. That would not be good.
Yeah. No, so everybody, please use these scripts sparingly and in the right context. Otherwise, you're going to look silly.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one, though. I like that. It's not the right question to ask. Very, very good.
Right.
All right. So what's the next step for you as you continue to grow out the team? You talked about the sales agents and how they're kind of flexible on what they can do and what they're allowed to do. So I'm assuming you're looking to bring more of those types of agents into your team.
We are absolutely. And what we try to do is try to be calculated about that, Matt. We actually try to bring people in that we know we can support. With coaching. Our 3 big value propositions are coaching and training, systems, and then leads. And leads is third for a reason. You guys can probably guess. But we try to make sure we can support them. So we're not if 15 people tomorrow want to say, I want to join your team, that'd be tough to do. I could probably figure out a way to do it, but I'm getting a checkbook out, right? I'm going to write some checks and make sure I can support them with leads too, not just coaching. But we have a training period. We have a whole onboarding process when they come on the team. We have a training period where they go for 5 weeks straight, where there is minimum requirements that they have to meet, so that they know and they demonstrate that they will hit and be okay with doing what the Marines call the suck, right? Mm-hmm. The crap, right? The dialing, because we know that's going to be the good stuff. That's going to help them propel their career down the road. So those happen. Yeah,
I like that. So what if they don't hit it by just like a small percentage? Is it a hard line? They're out, or is you flexible? Are you flexible a little bit? And you're like, okay, I foobarred a little bit. I could have coached them this. I could have done that. Just so that kind of understand when people are going to be calling you from the show. Hopefully.
Yeah, we are a little. It's a little secret, so maybe But no, we're a little.
Let's not tell anybody.
Yeah, we will let them skim on that a little bit, right? We're not that hard line. We're pretty flexible. But the thing is that the minimum standards that we set, we know are higher than what they probably should be. So that's where the whole psychological aspect comes in. So if they miss it, they're going to fail forward, and they're going to still be at a very high level. So that's the whole secret.
Okay. That's a great idea. I need to start doing that on the people we bring onto our team. I'm too much of a nice guy. Aaron Wittenstein always says that he won't let me talk to certain people because I'm too much of a big gooey guy. Like, oh, okay, come on in. You got to have a little bit more of a hard line. You got to be like, look, dude, you just don't have what it takes. Go away, because you're gonna spend so much time training and coddling those people that, the time suckers or the assholes, that constantly are asking every single question but never implementing a damn thing. So I think that you holding a fairly strong line on that is going to be very, very important for you.
Yeah, and it took us a while to get to. I mean, we were like you, Greg. Oh, come on, just everyone, hug, big world peace, kumbaya, right? Yeah, we're the same way, And then we've gradually got closer and closer to where we are today, which is a little more hard line, but it's not that hard. It sounds almost like communist, right? I mean, we're not that way, but we will let people slide, as long as they're demonstrating the basics of what they have to get done and demonstrate willingness to do it. That's the big thing, showing up.
Yeah, do the unfun, unsexy, unseen aspects of the business, sitting down and grinding out the calls, doing the calls, writing the thank you letters, being a self-starter. Ooh, there's a big one. And also holding true to your word. I mean, those are attributes you need to have in some agents if they're going to be a part of your team, because you're going to go to a point if you're not already there, Kelly, is that you're not going to have enough time to deal with everyone who's asking you every single little petty question. I mean, you're going to need those people that just say, screw it, let's do it. Like Richard Branson, just jump in with both boots and let's roll.
Right. It's that analogy that we, and when they come in, by the way, when they do this stuff, that the dialing or the door knocking, everything is turnkey for them. So we already pay for all the data. We pay for it loaded. It's already loaded in the system. We pay for the dialer. I mean, they have to come here and just do the work. So I tell everybody, it's like, it's kind of like a gym, right? A gym analogy where we're going to buy your membership. We're going to build the building. We're going to put all the weights in it and the cardio machines and give you a personal trainer. You just got to actually show up and then actually lift the weights.
I'm in. I want to go to that gym. I'll be a part of this.
No, that's now. If only you could assign someone to them who would help move the arms. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta get each of them a spotter. Yeah,
that's the next invention, Matt. Right there. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so funny.
All right, so Kelly, are you to the point? So you've got, pretty big, good sized team. 15 agents and staff and all that good stuff. So at what point do you think you hit that spot where you have to withdraw from certain things and hire either an operations manager or maybe even like a success manager to manage the team, so you're not dealing with those silly questions of, hey, how do I get into a dot loop and stuff like that? So at what stage do you think you hit that?
Yeah, that's a great question, Matt. We actually already hit that recently. One of the agents that was on our team kind of stepped up when I was laying out kind of the organizational chart and where we want to go the next year or two or three. Actually, he actually stepped up and said, I would love to do that. Love to take on like a recruiting role, a coaching role, that sort of thing. So he's been doing a great job so far. He stepped up in that role, and I'm kind of hamstring a little bit because we have a little office space situation right now that we're in the middle of solving by getting to a bigger space. But he's doing a great job, and so we're kind of there now. From an operation, he doesn't do a lot of operations. It's all recruiting and coaching, training. So we're actually looking for one of our ladies or someone new even to come in on that aspect eventually here. I know within the next 6 to 12 months we're gonna need that high level rock star hopefully to help kind of run the operation side of things too. So
yeah,
that's where we're at right now.
Very cool. Well, if you're within earshot of this podcast, and if that's you, reach out to Kelly. That's be an interesting position as you guys grow, because that's a fun ride to be on. I watched. I wish I would have gotten in on the ground floor with someone like a Jeff Cohn when he was building his team, and he, going from 80 to 400 plus deals in 3 years. I mean, that's kind of the trajectory that you guys are on in the middle of that same thing. Yeah. I mean, if you have all the systems are set up, you're halfway there in terms of agents. Yeah. I mean, you guys are definitely on the right track. So very, very cool stuff. So remind us again, how do people connect with you in the area that you guys serve?
Yeah, absolutely. Number 480-442-9868. That's to the office right there. And then we have the website at kellycookhomes.com. We are again in Scottsdale, Phoenix, Arizona area, and we're going to be actually expanding at some point and testing those waters. We tested it a little bit already into North LA County. And we had some growing pains there, just being very transparent. We don't have it all figured out, unfortunately. So we're pulling that back a little bit, and now we're going to learn from those mistakes and hopefully launch maybe back there again or somewhere else. It really just depends on the who, right? If we find the right person, you can almost go anywhere. Really, good systems down.
So why LA County? Is that a feeding ground for you? For Arizona, is that why you're expanding out there, or just the price points are significantly higher and it's more enticing? What was your decision on that?
the main reason was we thought we had the who. I thought we had the who. It was a good friend of mine, real good friend I've known for a long time. It was his cousin, and he was a top sales guy at Verizon. That didn't quite translate as much as I thought it would. Right. So that was the reason, Greg. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, people walk into the store at Verizon and they want to buy something. Give me a phone or a case or a cord or a Bluetooth something or other. So you're an order taker. Like you can talk to people. You don't call their mama fat and kick them in the shins. You're gonna get the deal done, right? Well, you know, real estate's totally different. Totally different.
Totally different. It really is. Yeah, I learned that hard lesson. Yeah.
Well, then you found the problem, and as G.I. Joe would say, knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe. Okay, I had to do that.
The more you. All right. Anyway, yeah, that's man, expansion stuff. We did the same thing. So our San Diego expansion didn't go so hot either because we made the exact same mistake. Everybody makes it and are still making it. That's the hardest part out of the whole business, I think, is hiring, like identifying who the next sales rock star is going to be. There's no crystal ball for that. You can have all the best systems and all the best support in the world, and they can have great things to say, and they can still just completely foobarred up. The key to that, though,
you were so close.
Is
like you were so close.
What? Saying that fucked it up?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Does that make you happy on the inside, Greg?
Yes, it does. It warms my little heart.
It warms your blackened heart. All right, good. But yeah, I mean that's like and like you mentioned LA County, right? So San Diego, LA, New York, Chicago, like some of the really high price point areas and the high pay-per-click cost areas, those are some of the hardest to expand to. They're also the ones that are in most demand to expand to because the price points are super attractive. And so everybody and their mom wants to expand into those areas. But yeah, I've heard from a lot of people that some of the best places to expand are the non-sexy, 180, 200 grand price point. It just flatline. It doesn't like go super cyclical. It doesn't go huge swings of up and down. So I think that's what we're learning, and a lot of other guys in the expansion game are learning, is that hard fact that just because the average price point's $1 million doesn't mean you can take as many. It doesn't mean it's easy to break in there as it is like Minneapolis.
Well, you also have to look at the quality of agents. I mean, there's in San Jose, in the peninsula over here. I mean, you're talking $25 million homes, $100 million homes. I mean, some major price points, right? And that's sexy. Or average, San Jose is the 6th largest city in the country, one of the fastest growing real estate markets, and like $1 million, $1 million, $2 million is average price point through all San Jose. But the agents are dickheads. They will cut you off at the knees. Like they will do a whole deal for 1.5%. Like no joke. They will undercut you and backstab you. So you need to look at the different marketplaces and the quality of agents that are in those marketplaces before you expand into it. Because you could have everything else working. And Kelly, you come across as a very ethical individual. I know Matt's not, but it's okay. We'll keep him on the show. But the three of us have a certain standard of ethics. And that's why Matt and I work so well together, is because there are certain things that he and I will not compromise on. And so you need to get the birds of feather will flock together, keep those people in line so you don't have another Verizon surprise when you're like, everything's working. And then, oh, wait, the fuck is that guy taking another 10% off the back for? That son of a biscuit, and you never saw it until you went and ran the books.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to have, when you go to expansion, you have to have certain lead generations you got to lead with, right? It's a whole other conversation, I guess. But, our one of them that we did or we wanted to do, we actually did, was farming. Well, yeah, man, we did some, in North LA County there, we did some, obviously some research on these different areas for turnover rate. And it's like, it's unbelievable. It's like, sub or less than 3%, and almost the number one place was like 3% that we could farm in. Right. And so we're like, in the area we want to be, the general area. And so it's like, wow, that's tough. That makes it tough
rough.
Too. So,
well, you higher the price point, the lower the turnover. So, I mean, it's a yin and a yang, give and a take. But I mean, I would rather give me 10 $1 million homes instead of one $10 million home. That thing's a pain in my balls, because you know what? There's going to be super needy sellers. You're going to be there for every damn showing. You're going to turn on a bajillion lights, lock up a bajillion doors, have to do all these special things. And then really the appetite for a $10 million home, how many people, okay, there's a lot here in the Bay, but there's not that many people that can really afford a $10 million home. We had a $4 or $5 million home. It took us 2.5 years to sell. I mean, damn.
Wow.
Wow. No, thank you.
It's I mean, this is that and expansion in general is one of those things where it's flashy and it's ego driven and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of good benefits, especially if it forces you to like look at your systems and get your act together in order to expand. That's a very good thing for your business. But expanding, and especially like taking on super high-end luxury homes, come on. A lot of it's ego. It doesn't really always flow to the bottom line. You'd be much, much better served taking 5 or 10 of your average price listings than one luxury listing. So yeah, you really have to, expanding into another market type, whatever form that takes. You really have to look at like why you're doing it, because a lot of times it turns out to be not quite what you expected.
Yeah, and guys, luxury doesn't mean bigger checks. It means bigger checks potentially out, not always in. Go for what makes your your payments right now, and double down on those marketplaces, because you don't have to be right, guys. You just want to be rich. End of story. I mean,
great point. Great point. I mean, we were. Yeah, we were a great point. We were trying to be conservative. I mean, we were at like, for LA, we were at like a $600,000 price point in the subdivision, right? I mean, that's not that much,
No.
But it's still 3%, 2.4, 2.5. And so, but it's a whole other animal. We learned that. Obviously, we kind of knew it going into it, but we learned it. We thought we had a great a really good ethical person, which he is, integrity and all that. It's just the job skill set wasn't quite there in terms of being proactive, right? And going to get it and go hunt.
Self-starter. Self-starting is one of the biggest things. There's a couple of people I know that, come in like around 10 or 11, in the day, doing about an hour and a half worth of work, go take a 2.5 hour lunch, and then take off and leave the office they get back from lunch around 2. Then they leave from the office around 3:30 and call it a day. How in the hell is that going to be successful? Honestly.
You're not.
You're interested, you're not committed. That's one of the greatest scripts. Tom Ferry always said it, 2013, but he might still say it, and just love it. Are you interested or are you committed? And I'm like, This morning I was definitely just interested about going to work. I was definitely not committed. That's because I felt like crap. But I mean, I'd use it for working out. I use it for everything else. I asked myself, am I interested or am I committed?
Hey, that's like the breakfast analogy right there, Greg. It's the breakfast analogy. What is it? The chicken was interested. The pig was committed. I mean,
the pig was definitely committed.
Oh, that's funny. All right, guys, we got to wrap it up. Greg, what in the world should we direct people to do since the McDaniel Challenge is on pause?
I came up with a new idea, Matt.
You did?
You and I were having this. Yeah, I know, all by myself. I didn't even have to put my helmet on. I'm all good. So this is, guys, I mentioned before, if you're in my Bay Area, you're in the East Bay, if you guys are ever interested in potentially interviewing to join my team, we are going to take on about 2 or 3 more people right now. We have the bandwidth to take on 2 or 3 more people. So if you guys want to join or to have an interview for joining the McDaniel Callahan team, please call me 925-915-1978. Again, 925-915-1978. And just like Kelly, I'm not going to be quite Nazi, but I'm going to be a very close second to that. There's going to be certain requirements. Sorry, Kelly.
I'm not that bad, Greg. I'm an easygoing guy, man. I'm an easygoing guy.
Never mind. I'm not going there. That's just too bad. But if you guys are thinking about it, give me a call. We'll sit down. We'll do an interview. We're only taking about 2 to 3 new people right now. And that's my new call, Matt. And that's my new challenge, because I think our team should get some good folks on it. Like our girl Midori, who joined our team. She's just an absolute rock star. Midori, if you ever see this, I will knuckles to you, my friend. So there's the call.
All right. And I will supplement that with some additional calls to action. So make sure to follow Greg on Facebook. Do not friend him.
No
Facebook
friending.
is a bitch and will not allow you to friend request him, but you can follow him and join the many followers to get all of his Facebook lives and all the great content. He also goes live into the lead gen scripts and objections group almost daily with lead generation, along with a lot of other great people like Aaron and Beverly, the Bevinator, for buyer lead follow-up. She did a really good one today. So if you guys aren't already a member of lead gen scripts and objections, immediately go join. If you're watching this in lead gen scripts and objections, you are here already, and continue to tune in, because the show will be broadcasting live into the group basically from here on out, assuming the platform continues to perform as expected. So you can expect us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the group live on Facebook, interviewing people like Kelly. So make sure to follow us. Go back to the website, McDanielRealEstateSystems.com. You can get Greg's favorite scripts. You can get the real estate farming course, high-tech, high-touch real estate farming, and then connect with me. I am pursuing results on Facebook and Instagram. And you can, one of the best ways to get a question answered during the show is to message me on Facebook. So make sure to friend request me. That way you can do that. We don't always see the comments live necessarily. So the best way to get a question answered is just to message me. Make sure to subscribe to the show, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, depending on whether you want the video or audio versions. And guys, that is all the time we have for today.
And you guys are amazing. Matt and I truly do love you guys. That's why we do these shows. Know that we're coming from a place of complete giving, and we want to see nothing but you guys explode in your marketplaces. Even if you're in my marketplace right here, I want to see you explode, become an agent that I have to contend with, because then that means that you're following your dreams. And that's what our ultimate goal is, to give you guys everything you can ever possibly need at a zero-based cost right now, so that you guys can go grow your business. So just know that we love
and
you.
If you happen to listen to this and become a super successful agent in Greg's areas, and you come out one day to find out your tire slash, then you'll know why.
I'm not that vengeful.
And with that,
Nice little.
thanks so much, guys. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. All right,
That's cool.
So I'm gonna turn